We going live.
Stream into my audience. All right.
You are live. Peace and blessings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all, we ain't even gonna do no intro. Like we here. So that's what we doing. We are coming to you for another 6:30 Sunday evening info session, depending on where you are in the world. But that's what it is here. And we just want to come to you all and share because it is so much going on, so many things to be excited about. This is the Elements of Abundance in collaboration with the Epic Network. And we also got our cool nerd Sam.
Hey.
Right.
Yes. This is like the dream team, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
Facts.
Hold on. And we have Mr. Dre
Hey,
Taylor
Mr.
coming
Taylor,
to us
dream
from
team.
Ghana. Yes, we talk about the dream team. This is part of the reason we are able to do the things that we need to do because we are in collaboration and have sponsorship from some amazing entities. Tours de Ghana, the Beyond Investments. So Mr. Dre Taylor is joining us from Ghana to continue to share with us all of the amazing things that will be taking place when we get there in December. So yeah, we wanted to just start it off. We got some frequently asked questions that people want to know. So
Okay.
what we got?
So we got let me see. We cover what's the cost of the tour? What is the cost of the tour?
What is the cost of the tour? Well, the later you wait, the more it goes up, right? So right now it depends. If you're doing double occupancy, it's $2,500. Double occupancy means you have a roommate, right? And if you're coming by yourself, you will be matched up with a roommate that, based off of this process, we believe will be the best fit for you. And then there's single occupancy, which means you have no roommate. It's a room to yourself. And there is an additional fee. That one is $3,000 to book the.
Let's do a sound check. Can everybody hear? We need some feedback from the audience? We have a can't hear you message.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. Okay, that might have been Ra having some technical difficulties.
Okay,
so folks in the audience, give us a thumbs up. Let us know. Let us know if you can hear us or if you can't hear us.
All right, I think she's gonna come back on, Raisha, with the Epic Network. So what else we got going on? Okay, the questions in reference to what the cost of the tour is.
Yep.
And just even some fun facts about that. You got something, Arden?
Nope, that was it. Just I was going to remind you where you left off at the double occupancy for 2,500. We'll have a matching selection process for those who are traveling alone.
Yes, and thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Stella Chappelle. Appreciate you sharing this out too with Facebook. Ooh, who am I muting? Okay. All right. Thank you all for tuning in and definitely share. And we also wanted to talk about some creative ways to get this investment, right? This is an investment in yourself. It's a personal investment. It's a business investment to have this experience. What we just quoted to you, those prices do not include airfare. So definitely you want to reserve but with your $400 deposit, but you also want to look at what's going on with flights right now and the options that are available. So on the website, there is a link if you are looking for a payment plan, especially around your flights. There is a buy now, pay later option. And also paying using PayPal will allow you to do a buy now, pay later option for the tour as well. So looking at creative ways, there's definitely options and opportunities for those who are serious about investing in themselves and coming on this trip. Just say yes. There's always a way to make things happen. And there's resources. So reach out if you have questions. And we can get you that information directly.
And I just want to reiterate that 2,500 includes everything except airfare and any alcoholic beverages. Other than that, your trip is covered.
And let's talk about everything, right? like
Right.
ground transportation, how you getting from the airport, your food. And we're not talking, because I've seen some tours and it's like, we got your meals on some days, but not other days. We're
Right.
talking about your meals for the day. We're also talking
Three of
about
them.
we're also talking about the activities that you will be participating in. We are there. The trip dates. Thank you. Good question, Stella. The trip dates are from December 25th through January 3rd. It is a 10-day experience. Um, yeah, I think Raisha's having some technical difficulties. She's gonna come back. All right. So yes, this is a 10-day experience in Ghana. And it's packed with so many opportunities to connect, to build, but first to return, right? To return to the continent. So I know we talked about some of the highlights of the experience. One of them being the 26th, which is the Return, Connect, Build networking experience. And it's not, I haven't, like, even using the word networking, it just seems to
This is a
limit.
cultural exchange professional development experience.
Absolutely.
Featuring, just tell them what it is. Featuring what? Panels and live discussions with those who are doing business and operating in Ghana or with Ghana throughout the diaspora. We
Yeah.
have a pitch competition, which is featuring Ghanaian businesses so that we can show Ghana that we're not just looking to come into the country and take, but to also give back and build relationships between Ghanaians and those of us in the diaspora. What else is the pitch competition, the panels, and speed networking.
Yes.
Epic will
The
be
Epic
hosting speed
Network.
network.
We'll have
Absolutely.
someone there from the sport office to the president, have a representative there for that. We'll have representatives from the bank there who's interested in maybe getting a loan of whatever sort. And we'll have, like I said, other business owners and other diasporans who's living, doing business in Ghana who will be there. And so we'll be at a restaurant owned by somebody from Chicago and out of diaspora. So, man, you can see firsthand of its thriving business, as we partake in all the activities and experience that there. Then we'll go up to the mountains at an all white party afterwards. It'll
Mm-hmm.
probably get started probably around 12, 1 o'clock, you know what I mean? And, for the early birds, maybe just go back home. But for those who are going to be out, the next bus probably going to leave probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Then we probably stay out to about 4. So it's a lot going on in that first official day. It'd be your introduction to Ghana. It'd be a great introduction to meet other people, have a good time, and set the tone for the rest.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to, and the significance, like we all white parties have become so trendy, but when you in Ghana and this land that acknowledges the spiritual energy of our ancestors and so on and so forth, this is taking an all white party to a whole nother level.
Another level.
Yeah, it's
And
a whole different experience because we're going up to the mountains. So when we
right,
go
that
drive
part,
up the windy roads on a mountainside,
yeah.
you see the Accra, the city lights of Accra. Then you like, man, this is what it's supposed to be like. We'll get out of the van or bus, whatever we in, and we'll take pictures on the side of the road where you can see the city lights right there, and we'll hop back in and then head on to the party where we have our waiting cabanas in a VIP section waiting for us. So it's just a whole different experience there.
Mm.
And the
This
air
good to
quality. Woo.
everything, the quality of the air, but even the visual on that. And shout out to Epic Network. They put out a reel that shows that windy road that goes up to Aburi with the lights. It's like it truly is breathtaking. It's also, a similar view from the property that you'll have the opportunity to see and potentially invest in Ghana. So this is a multifaceted tour. Yes, we gonna party, but we are all absolutely going with a purpose, and it's to connect, it's to build wealth, it's to build relationships, and it truly is to step into a global marketplace. Because if you know what's going on in the world, it is time to tap in. It is time to build community that extends beyond the borders that we sit within. So this is it's a timely experience. It's an impactful experience, and all the pieces have been brought together to like just make this. Like, I'm so excited, y'all. Like, it's hard to find words sometimes with
But
all of the
And
to
things.
I'll I'll tap in. The question I usually get is the age range for the event or for the tour. I've had as young as 6 come on a tour, of course, with
Ooh.
their parents. And then I had as old as maybe 80 plus come. And the story
Ooh.
about the 80 plus that came was we went to the all white party and, it's probably about 2 o'clock. And I asked the young lady, she was actually from Jamaica living in America, and she invested in a property here. And she was like, I was like, ask her, was she ready to go? She like, Dre, I came to Ghana to party. I ain't come sit down right then. I knew I was in trouble. You know what I mean? She left probably about 3 a.m. in the morning. And
Oh,
then, the next morning we had an event like at 9. And I was like, me and somebody else was there out of 50 people. We partied so hard that everybody missed the event at 9 o'clock. So I said, you know what? I gotta push my events the next day over because that was like the introduction to Ghana. And I mean, everybody just had a good time. We just let your shoulders down, relax. There's no drama. There's nobody tripping. Everybody just having a good time. Just seeing your people in different shades. Welcoming you. It's just a good time, and I can't really describe the feeling you're gonna have with that being the first night and setting the tone on how we do it here in Ghana.
Dre, you said it. Put your shoulders down. Everybody, be conscious of your shoulders right now. I bet you they
Yeah, just
scrunched up
breathe.
tight with all the United States stress.
Okay.
Put your shoulders down right now,
And take that deep breath.
and
Yes.
imagine just being able to be like that naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the
that's what's up.
environment.
I
So,
want to piggyback on what Hafiza was, what Wynn was saying about, you know, the commerce or the commercial exchange and the information, but also if you're an artist, the inspiration that you're going to be able to receive by just stepping out of your normal setting, space, home, and just being inspired. So we're particularly excited. The Elements particularly excited about the artists who are coming on the trip with us, and being able to, what's New Haven's art and cultural scene gonna look like when artists step foot on the homeland and come back charged by that.
absolutely.
We are
Absolutely.
ecstatic about that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a lot of the motivation. And like you said, just, artists, entrepreneurs, families. How is this going to impact
Mm,
communities from
right.
having this experience, from traveling collectively, from the bonds, from the opportunities, from all of that is taking place in the space, to have that and then to come back? How will we work together when we get back? How will that infuse into the communities in which we live in? So it's so much bigger than just a trip. It's so much bigger than a tour. Like, this is an experience. This is a life-changing experience. And again, when you have a team of people who are intentional about what it is that is being curated, who are building the relationships, a lot of the way that we're able to do what it is that we're doing is because, Dre Taylor and the work that he's done to lay the groundwork for us to come in and continue to do what it is that we're doing now on a larger scale outside of like our own backyard. So, just looking at the magnitude of what is happening here and to be a part of that, right? Like, you still have that opportunity. You have till the 31st to secure your deposit,
So
$400. That
that's
will
the next
guarantee your spot on the trip. You
the
got
next payment
and
schedule.
yes, and then the options that are available. So don't let any barriers be in place. Reach out if you need to have a strategy session as to how you're going to make this happen, because we are definitely here to support you in figuring that out. There are resources, there's options. We spoke about some of the payment plan opportunities that are available.
Actually,
But
Ben, go over that really briefly again, because the next frequently asked question is, what is the payment plan schedule? So let's answer
okay.
that question and touch a little bit on what some options are if it is the financial part that folks are worrying about, which we told you don't. All you
Yeah.
gotta do is
Please
say
say
yes.
yes. But yes, yes, yes. So, what are the payment options? Well, you have a deadline. First, your deposit is due August 31st. But the deadline for your full payment beyond that is November 16th. So we have created the option of making payments directly, which will be broken down. August would be the first month. So since we're at the end of August, it would be your deposit and your August payment. But you have until September 15th to make your September payment, and then October and November. So they're split up in equal denominations, less than $400. And depending on whether you choose double occupancy or single occupancy will dictate what the payment amount is. So again, schedule some time with us. We're accessible. Go to the website and we can walk you through the process, and we can also support you in the options that are available. Like we spoke about, PayPal has a pay now, buy now, pay later option. And if you go to the website, there's a website that is linked in our frequently asked questions around airfare. It was dope. I went up there today, and it really breaks down how it is that you can make a deposit on your airline tickets and then pay it as you go, but secure your ticket now. Because if you know anything about flights in general, the closer you get to the date, the more expensive it is. And because December is the most highly traveled date for Ghana, meaning 400,000 plus visas are issued, the airfare is indicative of that. So it's going up, y'all. So secure your $400 deposit and then get that airfare secured as well. And then make those payments so that you can be on the tour with us in December. We got some more questions.
Next question. Cancellation policies. What are the cancellation policies for the tour?
Andre, you might want to jump in. I know, yeah. What's the cancellation policy?
So you have to November 15 to get a full refund minus the non-refundable deposit. So you have to November 16th to get that full refund. I suggest, and maybe I'll have some information as far as insurance that you should purchase. So if you're purchasing with a credit card, you might have insurance there. Through the airline, you might have insurance, but always try to get travel insurance. You shouldn't pay no more than $60 for travel insurance in case something comes up. And so maybe we can refer some different travel insurance that be put in place, just in case something might happen. But usually if you're doing like a credit card or something like that, there's travel insurance with that.
Excellent. Very good point. And thank you for that valuable information. We'll definitely make sure that we have some information on the site in reference to options around travel insurance, maybe some links. I don't know. I gotta refer to Cool Nerd Sam because he's the one who keeps us right in our digital space. But the resources are definitely available. Again, reach out to us if you have questions or need some additional information. And y'all feel free to jump in. Okay.
What are the visa requirements for Ghana?
The visa requirements are you have to send in your passport, take passport photos, application fee. That's like a money order. They don't take checks. And I would go through the Arkansas consulate in Little Rock. That's the easiest one to go to. I know most of you guys are on the East Coast by DC, and it's just easier and less paperwork to go to the one in Arkansas than it is in DC. I don't know, for some reason they have different application process, but the one in Arkansas is a whole lot easier to go through with less requirements. The time frame in which I would apply for my visa would be mid-October, at the latest early November. Because you have, like I say, you have 4,000 or 400,000 people applying for visas all over the states, and they get tied up. And every year I get people worrying about, I sent my visa in, 2 or 3 weeks ago and I haven't got it yet. And they worry me to death about that visa. And I'm like, they're going to get it to you. Just hold on. They're going to get it to you. So, and I haven't had an issue yet with nobody not getting a visa. And so, sometimes you might get like the first week of December, maybe the second week, because you have so many people pushing for it. Even if you do the express service that they have, and they say we'll get it to you in by 5 days or something like that, it's not going to happen in that amount of time in November, December, because you have everybody going to get it. One of the good things, the news that came out last week, was they're trying to do away from the visa process in Ghana. So hopefully by October, they will remove those visa requirements to come into Ghana. Knowing that they're going to make some money in December, they might just wait till after December to do it more than likely, knowing Ghana. But hopefully they'll remove it. But if not, that is the process of getting your visa. Is sending your passport in, taking 2 passport photos, an application fee, and they'll send all your information back. Also, you have to send in a return envelope for them to mail your visa and passport back.
Yeah. And do you recall the cost for the visa processing? I know there's an expedited fee, but the regular fee, like you should set aside, what is it, $100, $200?
Yeah, it's like $100, I believe. And then if you want to do like a multi-entry, which I advise, that way you don't have to keep on sending your passport in to Ghana. It's like 150. But if they're doing away with that, then a single entry would work. But I believe it's around $100 for the visa.
Okay. Thank you. And
We
just
got
a shout out, Carla, we got you in the
yeah.
chat. Thank you for jumping on. She has a question outside of the business opportunities. Will we do full tours in terms of the wall of the door of no return, I believe is what she's referencing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff we do. I have a
Yes.
mock itinerary, and I say mock because Ghana don't really officially put out the full itinerary in December until usually like November. But some of the things we'll be doing is going to the Kwame Nkrumah Museum. They just redid it, so I haven't been to the new one yet, but that's always on our tour. The W. Du Bois Center. So it's good to go there. We're going to the Ancestral Wall and Prom. They have a great retirement community there. We're going to the Volta region where we're doing a boat ride on the Volta for about an hour and a half. We're going to Safari Valley, which is Ghana's highest resort for like a day pass. It's like part of the Volta trip that we'll go there. So we'll drive around, see the animals walking around. They have a cigar lounge
They got a cigar lounge. Yes, they
yeah,
do, Polito.
Cool Nurse Sam, see you order a cigar. So they got a cigar lounge and a wine lounge at the bottom. You see zebras and all kind of animals walking around on the tour. So it's something to do for everybody. There's the nightlife, the events, so many of them going on. It's the real estate stuff. It's so many things that I forget was on our itinerary because we're doing so much and you're going to forget like, man, I forgot we did that. And the 10 days go by so fast. You like, man, I have some people who just extend their time. And so I have others that's coming back again this year who staying like a month. I have about 3 or 4 of them that are staying a whole month because it's just that 10 days just ain't enough. Really to do Ghana, it's really at least 2 weeks really to do it. In 2 weeks, you still can't see everything that's here because there's so much to do and there's so little time to squeeze everything. And one thing I do say on my tours is that, everybody's coming to see and do something different. And so when it comes to the scheduling time, so if we have itinerary and says we leave at 9, we have a grace period at 9:15, and 9:15 we leaving. You know what I mean? Because it might be something that you want to do that day and somebody's holding you up. And then we get backed up and backed up and backed up where we can't do the last thing on itinerary because we got held up. And so I tell people that before the trip, on the trip, you know what I mean, a couple of times because it's just out of respect for everybody else who paid that way to see and do something. We all want to be able to do it. And then I just say, just take an Uber to wherever we're going to be at and meet us. And some people are fine with that. Some people don't get up to, 10, 11 o'clock. Just hop in an Uber. As long as it's still in the city, you can meet us. And Uber is just as safe as it is in the U.S. And so if that's a situation that you need, and if you want your own driver to drive you around, you don't have to worry about the bus. We can accommodate that too. Where you can have your own driver, you get to where you want to get to, have your own space. We can accommodate you for that. It'll probably be around, $80, $100 a day, depending on the vehicle that you have. So if you got a team of people, 3 or 4 people, y'all want to get y'all a little SUV and do your own thing and drive around, and we can accommodate you for that. So it's no problem.
Excellent. And just to add on, I know you mentioned the door of no return.
Wow.
So yes,
Okay.
we will be in Cape Coast. We will be going to Elamina and the slave dungeons, and we will be going to the last bath. And there's also the naming ceremony. So all of those things take place in Cape Coast, and that is absolutely a part of the last leg of the tour. So I hope that
Yeah,
answers the question, Carla.
Yes.
And what is
Yeah,
Lisa? What is that?
What's that?
What's the last bath?
Oh, the last bath. You want me to take that, Dre, or you got the last bath?
you just experienced the last bath, I think, several months ago. How was that experience for you?
It was phenomenal, and I it was emotional. I'm not gonna front, like I cried in several instances. It might not have been like boo-hoo tears, but it definitely was like an emotional experience. And I think, I appreciate the guides on the tour because they are so knowledgeable. And this one in particular, for the last bath, he really takes you like visually through and emotionally through the accounts of those kidnapped Africans who came from the interior or wherever they were captured from and walked through to get to the coast to be shipped off, right? So this river was like it was the last stop before going into the dungeons. So it's running water, but to understand just the magnitude energetically of what happened in that space, how millions, like how many people have come through my alpha, but to understand like how many people took that road and ended up in that same spot, all that they went through to get to that one moment, the people that they left behind and the families and the communities that were now fragmented because of this experience. It's a phenomenal ride, in a sense of him telling the story, physically being in a location, putting your feet in the water, putting your hands in the water, like it was powerful. But that is the last bath, if I explain that.
And that's like the last leg of the tour. And so during that, we did all our party beforehand. And I had a couple of people last year, like I gave my itinerary and they seen there wasn't no party going on those nights in December or in January. And they was looking for parties online. They was ones I'm like, you really ain't gonna find too much in Cape Coast, but they was worrying about these parties. But when they got to go to the dungeons and the castle and everything like that, and this is where we stand on the beach for those 2 nights. We get to stay on the beach those 2 nights. So they got the chance to reflect. We had bonfires that night. We had, dancers come out and dance. And they was cool with it. You know what I mean? They partied enough partying. They did, and they was wore out by the time they got to the Cape Coast, and they wasn't even thinking nothing about party. It was a time that we had a, Bluetooth speaker out there, listening to music, having a good time, reflecting on the trip, and just a time just to sit back and just watch the waves and chill out. And it's just a good time to reflect, on a beach out there for the last 2 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dre, for that. And hello, Ayana. Thank you for joining us. In lieu of time, you all, this 30 minutes is going by really, really quick, and we want to be mindful and
It did.
respectful of people's time. And in this closing time, I just want to say all tours are not created equal. So as you can probably definitely hear, there's a lot more we want to touch upon. And somebody help me remember next week when we're on for me to touch upon, the sponsorship as it relates to the last bath, and there's some comments we want to share with about that we want to touch on. So Hafiza, if you would drop the link in the chat, drop the link for folks one more time if they want to register, because our deposit deadline is coming up on the 31st, but these packages are going, and it's looking like our capacity may be reached prior to the close of deposits. So if you know you want to go in December, now's the time, everybody. Now is the time. Secure your spot.
Yes, yes, yes. And definitely connect. I'm gonna let y'all talk a lot. Y'all go ahead with your closing remarks.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Go ahead. Yeah. Raisha.
Oh, okay. No, I was an experience of transformation, and I was just even thinking about the flight alone. The flight alone is what? How many hours?
10. If you got a direct flight, is 10.
And
yeah.
that in of itself, like, to just point to like the journey back home and how far we have been removed in a sense. This is about coming home. This is about transformation and just reconnecting to, I think, the magnitude of our power and what's possible, which is not just limited to what we can do here in U.S. soil. So if you want to go, like Fire said, register, hit the link. That's the first step, and all the pathways will open up for you to be there with us. Trust.
Absolutely.
In the higher power.
Appreciate you, Raisha. Epic Network in collaboration with
The elements of abundance.
Indeed.
Enjoy your evening, everybody.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for our sponsors. Click on that link, y'all.
See you in Ghana.
See you on the plane.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
We still live?
We still live.
No, we are not.